Wagwan, people. It's your boy Airsoft Special Ops, Yardman Length. There's gonna be a couple changes to the channel, so keep it locked. You'll notice the Instagram will probably change. I've changed that recently. And I am officially called Calvian. That's what will be on my patch, but you guys will see that when I do it. Also, our batch is also called Multicultural Forces, but we'll also have another batch called CL. That will be like my main team of airsofters that play out and we go ham type thing. But today's video, I kind of wanted to just do a little celebration video as well as a little update video, because I feel like as much as I'm dropping content, I'm not doing what I did in the beginning, which was kind of just like review the guns I've kind of currently bought consistently, like a couple weeks, month and a half in, 3 months, 6 months. I feel like I've kind of slacked. I've just been playing and just making note really. But today I wanted to do a video on, let me show you these two bad boys. I basically wanted to do a video on the Vosk VPX and talk a little bit about that, because I'm thinking of making some changes. I did make some changes recently. I went through some things with it, as well as I wanted to talk about the Vosk EU18, because again, I've had that. That's probably like my longest owning gun this time round, and I've made some updates to it. So I think we'll start with the VPX. We'll talk a quick bit about that. So VPX, beautiful gun, like you guys can see, beautiful. It has 2 safeties. So you have the, I think it's called a beaver tail safety, which is at the back, and then you can cock there, as well as you have a safety literally, and it's not loaded, so don't worry, on the side right there, and then you can't pull the slide if you notice, whereas when it's down I can pull the slide all the way back type thing. But yeah, so VPX, I've made some edits to it, so you can see some customization, put the channel name, and then you know our numbers. I had to chuck on the bottom 748. Feedback. So I'm probably like 2-3 months into owning this now, and the majority of it will be good feedback, because to be honest, I think it's probably the most accurate pistol I've bought to date, straight out the box. So yeah, let's maybe start with bad and then we'll end on good. I like that. So what I'll say is good stuff. Like I said, it's probably the most accurate pistol I have owned out the box. I've shot with things like, well, I've used my guys like Umarex, and I've used my guys Novarich SS18, and those are obviously better than this, but I will say that this is probably the closest thing I have owned to it. The shot, I will say, is so accurate, so accurate. It's, you see, if you're doing, for example, firing range stuff or target practice or that kind of stuff, I would definitely recommend this. The only thing I would advise is maybe HPA in it, just because the gas capacity in these mags is terrible, and it's partly because of the size of the mag. Like, look at the mag, and I think I've done another video where I compared it to a Glock mag, so I won't even bother doing this one. Watch the other video, but you can just see, like, it's a small mag compared to a Glock mag. It's very thin. Like, the Glock mag is probably like 2 or 3 times the size of this mag. So I think that would be a downer in terms of shooting, because obviously it's great being accurate, but if you're only getting 15 shots off, and then somebody else has got a handgun that holds 48, for example, or 50, you're gonna probably be outshot, or you're just gonna have to pick your shots very wisely. Update, like, compared to my EU18, I probably am more happier with this after 3 months, because one thing I will say about that gun prior was that, as good as it was, it still kind of had this element of, like, I felt like I was lacking on the field compared to other players, for example. So what I would say is, like, on a comparison of the two, on a basis of, and I'll show you, I've got the other one here, on a comparison of the two, it's like after 3 months I probably was more happier with this, and I haven't hit 3 months yet. I'm probably at like a month and a half, 2 months with this, but I am more happier overall, and it's partly because it has a more realistic feel in the hand, whereas this is quite light. Another thing is the accuracy thing, like I said. Another thing would be that, like, by the time I owned this for 3 months, I probably opened it 100 times. By the time I've owned this for a month and a half, I probably opened it 5-6 times, which for me as a player is a nice feeling, because as much as I want to be educated about the guns and these things, it's like, at the same time, I don't want to have to open a gun if I don't need to. The only times I really want to open a gun is when I'm upgrading, when there's a fault, or when I'm doing, for example, one of these videos and trying to like show viewers how it's actually done. So yeah, whereas I felt like with this, there was just times I'd open it because I was unsure why something was doing something, or do you get what I'm trying to say? I was just overly opening this one. But so yeah, that's that. In terms of what else, so it's like, if feeling the hand, this does definitely feel better. It just feels more balanced and more like the real thing, whereas as much as I like the Glock, I just feel like I'm aware I'm holding a toy every time I use this. What else? They both can be HPA'd, and I have bought a HPA kit, so there should be some content, God willing, in the next month or two where you see both of these hopefully under the HPA kit. This one I'm a bit like in the middle about HPA in it, just because I think I'm gonna get rid of it, and I say that just because the capacity thing is really doing me in a little bit. Like, as much as I like the accuracy, I'm aware that it's almost like, how do I put it with this gun? It's like, okay, I'll show you where the problem comes. I opened this gun 4 or 5 days ago, maybe less than that, maybe about 3 days ago, and it was because what was happening was the slide wouldn't pop at all like this for some reason. So I thought, look, I need to figure out what that is. So I basically opened it, ended up trying to take out the spring, and then I found that once you take off the top slide, which I probably will do quickly for you guys because it's quite easy, you just have to slide it into this. There's like 2 sections. There's this section that locks when the mag is finished, and then there's like another little tiny dip. You basically want to pull it back to that tiny dip, and then you see this selector safety thing here. You want to move it up so it's sitting in that section, and then you see on the other side you have like this silver thing. You want to press that through. Press. You'll notice it starts to come through on the other side, and then you literally just want to, it's a bit awkward angle I'm doing it from, so yeah, let me do it this way around because then it will make a bit more sense to me. But I'm essentially just doing what you see me just show you, and then you literally just want to pull it out and it comes out like that. So we're gonna chuck that there. Like, what I had done was taken off the slide like this, because this was, I was still like, I'm gonna be honest, I was new to taking these pistols apart, so I was almost trying to educate myself. The first problem I found was it's just so bloody hard to use once broken down like this. Unlike the EU18, I feel like this is a beautifully built pistol. As much as it has that top unit compared to the other Glock type pistols, which unless you know what you're doing, it can be a bit complicated. This was a nightmare, and the thing that was confusing to me was it doesn't have a lot of parts to it. So all it realistically has is the spring, the hop-up unit / the barrel, and then the loader unit. So I was kind of like, why did I have so much drama? Like, I literally worked on this for probably about 3 hours doing a job that should have took me about 25-30 minutes, and it was literally just because once I took out the spring was a nightmare to get back in. That alone took me about 50 minutes, and then it was almost like I had to chuck it in at a weird angle just to get it in, which for me was very confusing. Then the other thing was the outer barrel was like locked onto the inner barrel / hop-up unit in a very weird way, so the moment you pulled it off, it was like, it was difficult to get to hook back in how it was before. So I've noticed that every so often I have like what some could say is, me see. What some could say is like a spring / loading issue, which is very annoying now. It's starting to get to the place where it's like it's bothering me a little bit, because it just feels like maybe I need to open the gun in full and re-input that spring. The problem is I can't really, even now, it's like I can't really see the spring poking out, so I can't really say it's the spring that's the problem. And if you notice, every time I push it, that unit's making it back. I just feel like the problem maybe it's not making it all the way back, so it might just need a scrub clean of some format. Maybe, you know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it just needs a scrub clean, so I'll do that at some point. But and the long and short of it was, for me, that just wasn't ideal, because as much as I like the pistol, it just kind of made me feel like long term you wouldn't be good, because if that happened on the field, I would be stressed. I'd have to probably sit out that game. Whereas there's many times this, or the Raven version of this, gave me faults on the field. I was able to fix quick and then go back out. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? While actively on the field. So it kind of just made me feel like, I'm going to test you for another 2-3 games, but if you don't fix up, I'm going to have to get rid of you. But yeah, I think that was more the only problem I had. It just kind of made me nervous, this top unit, because yeah, some could say, oh, you're a Glock user, so that's probably why you had the issue. But I do my research, and I just felt like it was just way too difficult to get the barrel and all of the spring back in. Whereas with this, it's just a very simple process. So maybe what I'll have to do is, when I've got a bit more time and I'm not rushing, because at night I was kind of trying to rush, I probably will just have to try it and take it apart one more time, and if I feel the same, then yeah, I probably will get rid of this. If I don't, then there's a good chance I'll keep it. But one thing I would say is, if you are a person that, and this is why I'm sharing the info, if you're a person who doesn't really like to take the guns apart, don't buy this gun. And I say it just because that even now, if you look, like I'm just trying to put the spring back on, but it looks like the spring has put the top barrel back on, but it looks like the spring has had some kind of movement, which is now giving me issues putting it back on. It probably will go back on, because I had this the other day. But do you see, it's almost like it's a lot of work, and sometimes you literally just, especially with these airsoft guns, it's like you want convenience, you don't want work, unless that's what you're trying to do, show people. And you see, even now I'm still having issues. It's a good gun, very good gun, but I just feel like maybe it's the style of gun, because it is a 1911, and you do have to always be realistic when you do buy another gun, that it isn't going to operate like your other pistol or whatever you were using before, because it's not the same make. But things like this is quite annoying, because I would like to say my knowledge is good on these things, but even me, look, I'm still having issues chucking this thing back on. My thing is, what is it catching on? Feels like it's catching on something. But yeah.
Chair and all of that. You saying the phenomenon? Hey, you saying the second one?
Yeah, bro, I don't actually understand.
I'm still up, I call it overtime. Right into 5, I call it.
Whereas I'll pull off the Glock in a second and I'll show you. It's like I won't ever have that problem, because it's just built effectively. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nearly lost my mind, trying to leave street crime. I'm still up, I call it overtime. Right into 5, I call it overtime. I could tell you
what is it not locked onto though? That's what's confusing me. It's like it's jamming on something.
Deleted vids on my phone of nights I had you flexing. Scoop me in your coop, had my pack cause I was stretching. Watch your mouth, I'm not yours, I'm not your brethren.
And you see, I think it is that outer barrel thing again that I was telling you guys about.
I keep a weapon, we both fell somehow, you didn't catch my heart. Wanting from afar, so I pull it into art. Distractions, I see clear when we apart. It's session time, paint these words like Mozart. We both fell somehow, you didn't catch my heart. Wanting from afar, so I pull it into art.
I think it is actually that outer barrel.
I see clear when we apart.
Which is annoying, because it shows me that, like, though I've done the work, I've still got to take this gun apart at some point. There we are. Is that it? Who knows?
They don't know I slept on the floor to see shine. They don't know about struggle just to reap, man. Nearly lost my mind.
Yeah, man, like, what is going on here?
I'm still up, I call it
It's actually got me confused, people. But it's good that you guys see this, because you'll see what I'm saying. It's like, as much as it's built good, like the accuracy is so on point. Taking it apart the other day really did just kind of show me like, wow, this is gonna be a problem on the field, which makes this only really a good okay, I see it. There's like a hinge, like a square type hinge. If it doesn't fit on the barrel, it moves off. So I think maybe that was the problem. Potentially. But it's just so interesting, because for me it's like, don't get me wrong, it's reliable, so you won't often have to do that. But say you're a person who just likes showing your gun off, or do you get what I'm saying? All this drama here just takes away from the experience, man. This would make me not want to bring this gun out or ever open it outside of my own house.
I'm still up, I call it overtime. Right into 5, I call it overtime.
Give me 1 sec, I want to really understand what is it getting caught on. Bro, this is actually annoying me now, because I believe it's where it needs to be. What is going on?
Phone in, we sipped out and chilled at the zone. Won't give you wood, but I keep it on dome. Nookie so safe that it feel like I'm home. Thoughts in the class that I feel like a drone. Phone in, we sipped out and chilled at the zone. Won't give you
I think I can see it now, because it keeps moving off it.
Like I'm home. Thoughts in the clouds that I feel like a drone. Vocab active, hold some ink from the end of my pen. 10 years strong in the game, will experience. I ain't telling you again. Set in stone, your fatality awaits. Whole room looking like brother just.
I think I know what the issue is, you know, that I'm complaining about even the other day. I think it's worn away from the surface a little bit, so it's not quite sitting on it. So I may have to, I don't know, get a new outer barrel or something, because maybe that's what the problem here is. That, or my hop-up unit is damaged, so it just doesn't sit how it's meant to normally sit, which would make a whole load more sense. Because I can see it as I'm pressing it, it's doing it. So yeah, man, I think maybe what might have happened the other day is I've damaged the gun as I opened it, which is such a shame, because it's actually a banging little gun. What is going on here, bro? It's actually annoying me now.